Today's video is going to be all about my first impressions of popular and hyped up fragrances. I've got a lot to dig into, so if you want to find out more, then please do keep on watching. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if it's the first time you are visiting. As already mentioned in the intro, today's video is going to be my first impressions on popular and hyped up fragrances. And I have a lot of decants to get through and a couple of full-sized bottles. And I'm super excited to bring you this list because I have been dying to try some of these personally. I've seen so much hype across all of the social media platforms. So without further ado, let's get started on my first impressions and opinions on these fragrances. First things first, I thought I would share where I get my fragrance samples from because I get asked this all the time and it is my personal favorite place to get decants because they have such an incredible choice, and the quality of the decants in terms of the packaging that they come in is phenomenal. Anyway, the brand is called Scent Split. I'm sure many of you have heard of Scent Split already. I do link them down in my description box below. And the reason why I love Scent Split is the variety of fragrances they have. They have such a great niche portfolio, but they also do have designer fragrances too, plus the choice of sizes. And I love that they come in glass bottles too. So this is the 9 ml size format, and then we have a 5 ml here, and then the little 2 ml on the side. And I just think the quality of the samples is so good. As I mentioned, it's a glass bottle and they have really professional hand printed labels. Anyway, now that's out of the way, let's get started on the samples that I want to go through today. And now I've got this one in my hand, I will start with this. So the first sample is from Gritti, and this one is called Tutu Blanc. And I've seen so many people raving about this one, and it sounded like something that I absolutely had to get my nose on. So I went ahead and got a sample of it. Now I have already tested all of these samples at least once before, but I'm gonna spray it again to refresh my memory. Got my new batch of paper test strips. I go through these so quick, as you probably could imagine. I'm sure many of you do too. Yeah, this is the ultimate kind of feminine, girly, pretty fragrance. It's in that kind of category of Delina, but without the tartness. It's soft, vanillic, but it's also pow in your face. It's got a very strong DNA. And I have tried Tutu and Tutu Blanc, and my personal favorite is Tutu Blanc. I think it's a little bit softer. And I can definitely see why this one is so popular. Like I said, very pretty, very fun, very feminine, very fruity, a little bit floral. You've got the vanilla in here. It's musky. It's slightly tart, but not as tart as something like Parfums de Marly Delina. So yeah, I really do love Gritti's Tutu Blanc. I do think it's full bottle worthy. I haven't worn this full body wear test yet, so I will come back with a more in-depth review. But in terms of first impressions, yeah, this one gets my stamp of approval. I really enjoy this one. So the next sample that I have is Xerjoff Cruz Del Sur 2. And I can't tell you how many of you recommended this one to me, especially as you know that I like mango fragrances. And it took me so long to get a decant of this one. I had kind of smelled it in stores, but it's not the same as actually getting a proper decant, smelling it at home and putting it on your skin. So let me just refresh my memory on Cruz Del Sur 2. Yeah. This is such a gorgeous mango fragrance. It's quite linear in many ways. It's a very sweet mango. I personally get more of a creamy mango. It's almost like a fresh mango smoothie, not with any milk in it per se, but it's not sour and it's not tart to me. However, my experience with this is that it is a very linear fragrance, and I think I could get bored of this quite easily. Now, again, I've not done a full day wear test, so I don't want to speak too soon on it. But as a first impressions, I think it's a really nice, realistic mango scent. Does it top some of my other favorite mangoes? It doesn't, unfortunately. Like when I think about some of the mangoes in my collection, I'm just looking at them over there. When I think of something like Stefan Humbert Lucas God of Fire, or even Mango Kiss, the newest one from Memoirs of a Perfume Collector, Trouble in Paradise. Yeah, I don't love it as much as those at this stage, but I do think it's a beautiful fragrance and I would absolutely love to add it to my collection. Another thing to mention actually, so Scent Split does ship worldwide. Most of you will already know I am from the UK. Scent Split is predominantly a US company, but they do ship to the UK. They have free shipping on orders over $150, or you can pay shipping for anything under that. But yeah, I just still highly recommend Scent Split, but I just wanted to let you know that just in case you wasn't aware, because they do sell full-size bottles too. Sometimes the fragrances that we can't get in the UK, like Gritti as an example, and it's going to be over $150, which means you get free shipping. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking about that, but yeah, you need to check out Scent Split if you're looking for somewhere to get your samples. I also like to get samples from Twisted Lily. I like to get samples from Lucky Scent. There are some places in the UK too, like My Perfect Scent and Imperial Fragrances. But I have a soft spot for Scent Split, as I've already mentioned. So yeah, Cruz Del Sur 2. I do love it. I do love it. Will I get a full bottle? Probably. But is it my favorite mango scent? No. By the way, I've got 2 full-size bottles to talk about in this video. One of them is a new release. It's not actually launched yet, but it will launch when this video goes live. And I am so excited about it. So I can't wait to share one of these with you in particular, just because I know so many of you will be interested. But I'm going to talk about another sample first, and that is Blonde Amber by Clive Christian. Now, this fragrance was in my wish list video, and if any of you do follow me over on Instagram, you will probably know by now I actually went ahead and purchased a full-size bottle of Blonde Amber by Clive Christian. Absolute phenomenal masterpiece fragrance in my opinion, and I got a really good deal on it. I had so many of you sharing that Joma Shop had a 50% discount on it, but unfortunately they don't ship to the UK, so I couldn't purchase mine from Joma Shop, but I managed on the same day to find a deal from a UK retailer for 45% off. So that helped me justify the price point, because this has a high price tag, but if you can get it on offer, and I stress, please do look for those offers or wait for one of those offers, because yeah, you don't really want to be spending all that money if you can get it for 45–50% off. But if you do want to test it first, then of course Scent Split has it. And I ordered the sample before I of course ordered the full bottle, and I've already been through a sample of Blonde Amber. I'm not going to review this one in the video today because I will talk about my full-size bottle, but this fragrance is perfection to me. Perfection. So the next fragrance that I want to talk about is Morning Chess by Vilhelm, and my bottle is a little bit broken, which makes me really sad. And I want to highlight Morning Chess in today's video because it is National Chess Day, and of course this is called Morning Chess. And this is such a popular fragrance, and for good reason. I would say this one is more of a typically masculine leaning fragrance. However, I really love this one, but I must say I do prefer it on my husband. He really likes this. So this is an aromatic woody fragrance. It's one of those scents that smells fresh, but at the same time it has some backbone from the woodiness. It's a little bit green and a little bit herbal. And if you like fragrances similar to Nishani's Hashivat or Creed Aventus, then you will absolutely love Morning Chess. What I will say personally is, of course, Creed Aventus is such a popular fragrance. It's a little bit of an OG in the men's fragrance world in terms of probably one of the best sellers worldwide, but it has been reformulated a lot. And I think Morning Chess is way better quality. It has better longevity, and it just edges it out a little bit for me personally. It's one of those fragrances that smells very fresh and clean, but at the same time, it does have body. So yeah, I'm getting a lot of citrus. I'm getting the woodiness. I'm getting a vetiver. I'm getting a greenness too. It is a really gorgeous fragrance. I don't want to talk about notes too much in today's video because I want to give you the feeling of the fragrance. I feel like that is more important. I know some of you are more team notes and my videos will fluctuate, but in terms of like first impressions on fragrances, I feel like it's more important to give you the feeling of it. And yeah, I do think this is more masculine leaning. It is definitely unisex, but you have to enjoy your more kind of fresh, aromatic, woody scents, which are more typically masculine leaning. Okay, I'm not gonna leave you hanging on the fragrance that I feel like so many of you might be excited about. Please do let me know down in the comments if you are excited for this one or if you even knew that it was coming. And it is another new release from Akro, and this one is called Rise. As soon as I saw the notes, this one was giving me note porn. I knew I had to try this one, and I'm so glad that I received this in PR. Super, super grateful, because I would have rushed out and blind bought this just because of the notes. And I know I said I wasn't going to talk about notes too much, but for this one, I have to drop some of the notes. So it has pineapple, pina colada, tiare flower, and coconut milk, toffee, and sandalwood. Can you see why I was going to blind buy this one? This is the type of fragrance that I normally like. I enjoy those kind of tropical floral fragrances. It has the tiare flower. It also has some frangipani in here. The coconut milk sold me, the pina colada sold me, and the toffee note sold me too. And yeah, this one did not disappoint. I sprayed this pretty much all over a blanket yesterday, and it was just giving me all of the feels. Plus, it has really great longevity. I typically find those beachy floral fragrances have good longevity on me personally. I don't know what it is. I sometimes find those kind of notes like tiare flower, frangipani, ylang ylang to be a little bit indolic, and that's probably why they last or that I can smell them all day. But yeah, this is a very creamy, beachy fragrance. I definitely get a very, very juicy pineapple. I do get the pina colada vibe. I do get the coconut milk. It does not smell like sunscreen. I get the florals. They are a little bit indolic. So if you're not into tropical florals, I would highly, highly recommend getting a sample of this one first, because you do get the frangipani and you do get the tiare flower. I don't think I get a toffee note as such, but I get a really gorgeous gourmand sweetness. I wouldn't say this is a gourmand fragrance though. It's definitely more of a beachy floral to my nose. And then you do get a little bit of sandalwood in the base, but on my skin personally, like I already mentioned, the florals just stick to my skin. I would say the pineapple and the pina colada vibe kind of dissipate after a few hours, and then I'm left more with a kind of beachy floral fragrance. But yeah, if you know my taste, you're probably not surprised that I love this one. I would say this is my favorite Akro fragrance now. That's really tough because I personally love Awake. I think it's one of the most phenomenal coffee fragrances ever. I did love their newest release, Bake, but Rise, this is a strong, strong love. and I can't wait to talk about it more in future videos to come. Sorry I've stuck on this one for so long. You can probably tell that I'm excited about it, but yeah, let me know what you think about this new release from Rise. Are you interested in sampling it, or is it going to be a little bit of a pass for you? But yeah, I love it. Okay, I'm revisiting a fragrance because it is getting so much hype. I know I've already spoken about it in a similar video to this, but it's one of those fragrances I was like, I need to revisit this because everyone loves it. Most people love it anyway. And I just really wanted to sample it again. I did have a 10 ml travel atomizer, but I gave it away, so I had to get another sample of it. And the fragrance in question is none other than Amouage Guidance. And you've probably been hearing so much about this fragrance, so I don't feel like I need to stick on it too long, but I did want to resample it again for my own sanity, because if you watched one of my other videos, it wasn't a love for me. It was a fragrance that on paper, I thought I was going to absolutely be head over heels for it, and I was really gutted that I wasn't. I think it's a great fragrance, and I can smell lots of the incredibleness that so many of you really, really love. But there is something in Guidance that unfortunately makes me feel really, really nauseous, and I had to scrub it off. And if you have Guidance, you will know that it doesn't even scrub off your skin. It is nuclear level. And the reason why I've got to sample it again, I can smell it in the air, is because this is probably one of the most complimented fragrances of the year. So many of you are getting chased down the street, getting compliments. So I was like, do you know what, Hayley? I need to like this fragrance, which I know is ridiculous. But anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling. Sorry about my chit chat. So I still think there is beautiful, beautiful elements of this fragrance. I pick up the sweet florals. I get the Akigala wood. I get that nuttiness, the creamy nuttiness that comes through. But there is one note, there is something in here that makes me feel nauseous. I can't even compute what that is. And it devastates me. I'm so sorry, but you all know that we all have different tastes. We can't all like the same things. I'm not saying that any of you are wrong. I can understand why so many of you love this fragrance, and I honestly wish I did. This fragrance fills up a room, by the way. When I leave this room, this will be lingering. But yeah, it just doesn't work out for me, especially for the price point. If it was a cheaper fragrance, I'd probably have it in my collection for review purposes, and the bottle's gorgeous. But yeah, there's something in here that just makes me feel a little bit nauseous. I would love to hear your feedback. Is there anyone out there that agrees with me? I would love to hear your thoughts. But from that collection, I absolutely love Lineage. I've spoken about that in another video. That fragrance is phenomenal, and it comes in a gorgeous kind of turquoise minty bottle. But anyway, that was Amouage Guidance. Let's move on to the next fragrance. The next fragrance is from the Armani Privé line, and it is Vert Malachite. The bottle of this, the bottle is absolutely gorgeous. I want to collect more of these. I currently only have Magenta Tanzanite in my collection. Rouge Malachite unfortunately doesn't work for me. I think it's called Blue Turquoise in the turquoise bottle. I just realized that Vert Malachite actually matches my outfit today. So let's spray this one on the test strip. Oh, that went on my hand. And I thought maybe this one will be for me because it has ylang ylang in there. I can smell it in the air at the moment. And it had some other florals and some vanilla. So I was thinking this could be the one for me. And don't get me wrong, I like it, I just don't love it. It's quite indolic and heavy on the florals. Now, I don't believe there's any tuberose listed in the notes online, but I kind of get that vibe from the composition. It's not quite like Rouge Malachite, but I can see it in the same family. And while this does have different nuances, like Petitgrain has some benzoin, I think, has some vanilla. I get the ylang ylang, but not much. I get more of an indolic white floral. I think it's a very nice fragrance. I could see why people would love this one. But for me, unfortunately, it's going to have to be a pass just because I'm getting an almost tuberose indolic vibe from it, which is just not my thing at all. I'm just really not into tuberose. But anyway, unfortunately, Vert Malachite is a no from me. If you own any of this collection from Armani, please do let me know what your favorites are in the comments below and what ones you think I need to try out next. So I've heavily sampled Rouge Malachite, so I'm not going to be sampling that one again. And I have Magenta Tanzanite. So let me know which ones you think I might like. And the next one I've nearly purchased so many times, but I thought get a proper decant of it, sample it properly, because I have tried this in department stores, but I've never been able to get the true vibe of it. And it is none other than Mugler Aura. Another one that matches my outfit today, actually. And I've seen this in a few people's videos where they absolutely love it. I think it's Mila's video. She absolutely loves Aura. I believe I'm correct with that. So let me just spray it quickly. So this fragrance is kind of true to Mugler's, I would say, old school style. This one is very, very challenging. It's not one of their more likable, mass appealing scents like the reformulations are or the newer fragrances are. This one is definitely way more challenging, and I could imagine it being quite jarring to some people. But that being said, I really, really love this one. I probably will get a bottle of it. I don't know how wearable it is for me personally, but I think it has this incredible uniqueness to it, which really stands out, and I don't quite have anything like this in my collection. It's a very green vanilla fragrance in essence. There is a lot more going on within the composition, but think green vanilla front stage and center, and it's kind of like a dewy, wet green vanilla fragrance. Strong, there's a little bit of woodiness, it's got some rhubarb up top, but yeah, I'm a fan, and I want to hear your thoughts on Mugler's Aura. What do you think about it? Are you team love, team hate, or maybe you just sit in the middle? Please do let me know, because I think it's not an absolute love, but I definitely love it. Need some more time with it. I might just get the bottle because I feel like the experience of owning a bottle is quite different from a decant. I know that sounds a little bit weird, but yeah, I might pick up a bottle of Mugler's Aura. Now, I do have a lot more decants next to me. I have a lot more from Scent Split here, and I also have some random decants, whether they came with orders or they came in discovery sets. So I will definitely make another version of this video soon, but I don't like my videos to be too long. So I would love to hear your feedback on any of the fragrances that I mentioned in today's video. But what I want to know, same thing that I always want to know, is what are some of the fragrances that you have tried recently that have really stood out to you and you think are truly worth the hype, or maybe that you didn't like them. But anyway, please do share them in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure as always. I hope to see you in a future video to come. Thank you so much and goodbye.